and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Dark Match. Tonight we are talking about WWE FastLane. That was way too theatric an entrance for this.
It really was.
Anyways,
Except for the way your voice dropped. That was hilarious. But it was still...
It kind of was.
oh, such an event. We could only get 3 of us for this. Anyways, I am your Fox from Backlash, as always. Joining me tonight,
Christopher says DarkMatch is Mastodon of the monotone.
And I'm Iron Bite Dash, and this is what is the Iron Sheik tweeting now? Monday, I break your neck, suplex you, put you in the camel clutch, jabroni. Yeah.
that was a chic tweet. I'll believe that. Anyways, FastLane, the most necessary pay-per-view ever.
Hey, I've got the perfect way for FastLane. Okay, all right. We're on the road to WrestleMania, and we're in the fast lane as we go through such sites as Suplex City, the Roman Empire, and the Ambrose Asylum. Join us Sunday. Does that excite you at all?
It should, but it
doesn't.
didn't.
I could sum it up thusly. Fastlane. Roman Reigns had a rematch clause anyway, didn't he?
Yeah, I'd say Fastlane is unnecessary, but this year it kind of was because of that last-minute rule change to the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, and another thing. I think it's time that Vince admits the Roman Reigns experiment has failed.
No, I think WrestleMania will be the time for him to admit it when, like, people boo the shit out of him and he doesn't have an escape plan.
Oh no! When they're booing the shit out of your face, when they're cheering your face, getting the crap kicked out of him by your top heel, it's time to admit I've done wrong.
Or it's time to admit that we need to give Triple H that 16th win, or 15th, or however many other wins. Just
John
have to pay
Cena
the world title.
John Cena actually will be able to break Ric Flair's record before he retires.
Yeah, I think he will. But it's whatever, or at least match it.
But yeah, Fastlane. It was okay at points, and then they just do stupid shit like this. We're gonna kick off the kickoff show with the 2 out of 3 falls match for the United States title.
Just to show you how worthless the United States title is, it is, 2 out of 3 falls. Why? Alberto Del Rio versus Kalisto.
Well, basically because they had been trading wins back and forth, and it's not a good idea to hotshot the belt, but I guess Del Rio's his ethic that, like, oh, it can't just be one pinfall to prove who the better man is. Like, we could, like, it was booked well. The match itself was good.
This was actually a pretty good match. It was back and forth from the word go. Kalisto once again impresses me with everything he's doing. And Del Rio sacrifices the first fall with a chair shot to the mush. It was one of those matches. I like the psychology, I like the booking, the right man won, and we had Mr. Ranello on commentary.
Oh yes.
Michael Cole, get the hell out of the middle seat. Here is your replacement.
Yeah, we were discussing during the pay-per-view that what Ranallo adds is that he has a wealth of knowledge, but unlike Matt Stryker, who's essentially like the Vince Russo of commentary, he has to get his shit in. Ranallo actually wants to contribute to the show and contribute to the hype surrounding it.
Yeah. I mean, he kept asking, why would Del Rio sacrifice this pin? And JBL's like, he's going to lose the battle to win the war. Don't you understand this?
Storyline.
It was like amazing. It was like JBL was tolerable for a match.
Had someone to play off.
I know. And of course there's Brian Saxton, who it's Brian Saxton. I'm not like, oh, Byron Saxton. No. He's fine.
He was there.
No, you have to do that. That's what the internet says you should think.
Oh yeah. Oh, and by the way, I'll be getting to what the internet says we should do with Roman Reigns.
But again, this match was very well worked, and when you think about it, the problem with the match wasn't the two participants involved, the commentary. It was management putting in the pre-show and essentially replacing it for a bunch of segments that should have been on Raw and could have effectively been on the fucking pre-show, because that's dark match shit.
Yeah, and we'll get to one of those segments later on because it makes no sense. Del Rio wins 2-1. Which, and again, he doesn't hit they hit all their spots.
Wait, Del Rio wins 2-1.
No. I said Kalisto.
No, you didn't.
Did I say
You misspoke, dude. But
okay,
Yeah,
I'm sorry. It was Kalisto.
That aside.
Kalisto wins. Del Rio once again, is just being used as an enhancement for this guy, and I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay with is AJ Styles in the social media lounge and not even being able to breathe the phrase TNA.
Oh, no. That's always been a thing. TNA is verboten in WWE.
I know, but it was like, I mean, you could see him struggling on, do I mention that company?
well, I think it's
They
strange.
obviously told him no beforehand, and he was trying to find good ways to skirt around it.
And he kind of succeeded. I mean, he talked up Japan, but
he succeeded in my opinion because I don't think he has regained the close ties that he once had. If you listen to one of his early shoot interviews after he was finally released by them around 2014, he can't stop himself from saying us when referring to the company because it has represented him for so many years.
Oh yeah, he was definitely the face of TNA.
By now he's probably gotten over it. And even then, I'm not concerned about that. Call me biased.
I'm not either. I'm just saying, he skirts around and he calls it the minor leagues, and then he went to Japan, but and now I'm in the major leagues, and it's like, hey, Dixie, fuck you. So
also, can I just say, it is still so weird seeing AJ Styles in WWE.
It really, especially with that hair. I think he needs to trim at least an inch off of it.
No comment.
I don't know. That's just my opinion from watching him with the
I know.
flat top for years and years and years. But yeah, so let's kick off Fastlane with, why is Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch teaming up again?
I don't know. I can't follow Divas plot lines anymore. Not that I ever could, really, but I just care. I almost cared for a little while, and then I just stopped.
Not so fast. On SmackDown, Sasha Banks was essentially attacked by Team Bad for breaking away from them, and I guess to them stealing the spotlight. Becky helped her out, and while Sasha said, I don't quite like you, I'd rather team with you than have a disadvantage or something. I'd rather stay on top and not get beaten down for bullshit reasons.
Wow. That is actually a coherent reason for them to be teaming. No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
That is a coherent, reasonable reason for them to be teaming up. Despite the fact that last month, Sasha Banks kind of dropped Becky Lynch and told her to get the fuck away from the spotlight. It's mine now.
She was basically forced to concede Becky, to concede teaming with her, and hey, resulted in a good opening match.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this this is again, the NXT Divas, kicked off the show and kicked it off big time.
Yeah, it's almost like if you get people with talent to do talented things, people are interested.
Yeah. Naomi, yeah, I could take her, leave her. Tamina, definitely a legit hoss. In what she was doing. And nothing really bad to say about this match, other than Team Bad looked pretty bad. as in badass, and Sasha and Becky are pretty much proving that WrestleMania is going to be interesting.
Yep. Becky took most of the heat from the heels. Like, she got a good hot tag on Sasha. There were a bunch of like teases as far as like near falls go that I thought were quite effective. Mainly Becky being like dropped from the apron and not being able to save Sasha while being pinned. Stuff like that you could see tease friction in the future.
Yeah,
but it's
definitely.
good that they seem to be going about that slowly.
Yeah,
Hopefully. Hopefully.
Finish comes with an echo. Finish comes with a simultaneous bank statement and disarm her, which is always good to see. And Team Bad taps the fuck out because, yeah, you're not doing anything. Cole, please don't. Oh, that. Cole, please never point out Machine Gun Kelly again because I don't care.
Yeah, nobody cares. Also, I know we don't really talk about Raw, but I had to groan when hearing this anyways. Fatal 5-Way is not clever.
No, it's not.
No,
it's
it's
pretty
not even
stupid.
close. But up next, we have the results of that Fatal 5-Way. What I like to call WWE's holding pattern, which is Dolph Ziggler in an Intercontinental title feud.
This from the man who was so fucking hot not 3 years ago.
2 years ago. 3 years ago. You're right.
I'm talking about the Survivor Series, sole survivor of Team Cena. They do nothing with that other than just completely dump him.
Yeah, just make him look like complete and utter crap, and he doesn't fight after being fired, and yeah.
I mean, I feel so sorry for Dolph Ziggler because it seems like they want something.
They want something, but they don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's like they want something out of him, but they're like, well, it can be used to put other people over, I guess. I mean, it's not like we could, I don't know, put him in the main event, have him go for the title again, grab that brass ring. No, we'll just stick him in another Intercontinental title feud with Kevin Owens. I swear to God, I love Kevin Owens, but whenever he hits like this, like a big move, he always like stares at the guy afterward, like, "Look what you made me do." Every time, like he hurts Dean Ambrose. Look what you made me do, Dean. He does something to Ziggler. Look what you made me do, Ziggler. I didn't want to do it, but I did it anyways. Because I'm Kevin Owens.
I am really hoping they figure out that Kevin Owens has the potential to be one of the biggest draws that they can get. Because I am so worried about that.
I think they're at least going to be careful with who he feuds with. Like, I'm pretty sure that he'll either feud with AJ Styles next, which is probably more likely, or Sami Zayn when they finally call him up.
Yeah, two other guys I'm really hoping that they're willing to put over.
They have on this roster, they have Kevin Owens, Austin Aries, Sami Zayn, which by the way translates out to El Generico. Yeah, I'm serious. Then you've got AJ Styles, all on the same roster. I know these guys, and I forgot Samoa Joe and Finn Balor,
Shinsuke Nakamura.
This is why I get worried about NXT, because you've got so much talent, and they're still tunnel focusing on Roman Reigns, who, next to the rest of these guys, is not really all that special. Roman Reigns is good, but against most of those guys you just mentioned, like, there's nothing that makes me say, like, yeah, this is the guy above all other guys.
Yeah, it's when you learn about news that Wade Barrett will retire, you just think, okay.
Oh yeah, Wade Barrett. There's a waste.
Wasteland?
No. Just a waste. If it was a wasteland, I would have made that pun. All right, back to this match. It's okay. I have yet to see a bad Kevin Owens match.
Right.
And Dolph Ziggler has actually learned how to sell, not like late career HBK.
Well, I mean, this was more of a like Brian Alvarez had a real go at Dolph for like basically just during his comeback getting up and running at full speed. Nevertheless, like he pretty much sold the bigger sequences from what I remember.
Yeah.
It was a decent looking super kick trade. That move is no longer sacred.
Yeah.
For better or worse. A lot of people would argue for worse, but it's still a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's like the Young Bucks have basically taken the super kick and just made a transition move now. It's no longer special. But
it's special when they do it.
Oh yeah, it's special when they do it.
And it still looks impactful, but it may not be able to be taken seriously as a finish anymore.
Yeah. Well, unless you've got like, I don't know, Shawn Michaels doing it.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens wins with the pop-up power bomb after a nice super kick exchange. And afterwards he goes up to Cole, and he's like, and he throws the title down in front of him and just stares at him like he's gonna murder him for some reason. And I'm looking at this, and I'm thinking, did Michael Cole make a pass at Kevin Owens' wife? Because
Iron Bite, would you say that he stared at Michael Cole saying, "I didn't want to do this, but I had to do this"?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, good Lord. Where did this animosity come from? I mean, it was like, I've never, I mean, granted, Michael Cole is not my favorite person in the whole world, but as far as I know, he has never really badmouthed Kevin Owens on commentary. But it's like, Kevin Owens is acting like Michael Cole is having an affair with his wife or something. It's just like bizarre to me. I mean, it's great that Michael Cole's, almost getting killed, but
also, Kevin Owens takes a fan sign on the way back to the locker room.
Yeah.
I assume to masturbate with.
Oh, wow.
Not just speaking of that, like Kevin Owens got a pretty significant pop when he entered, and the fans were chanting for him, cheering for him. They were in Ohio. I guess all those years, Dolph, of being billed from Hollywood, Florida, has taken a toll on your hometown's interest.
Yeah, pretty much. So we go backstage where the Titans are. No. Just no. You know what? I'm looking at a bottle of whiskey right now. I'm going, that looks mighty good.
I don't blame you, because up next, here's another pile of why. It's the Wyatt family versus Kane, Big Show, and Ryback. And are Kane and Big Show still with the Authority, or did they quietly forget that plot point?
They quietly forgot that.
Oh, good. Another faction that just quietly disbands behind the scenes.
No. The Authority is still around. It's now Triple H.
Oh, I know. I just go out of my way to ignore them. Whenever I see Triple H on Raw, I hit the fast forward button.
Oh, that's good.
Seriously, if you're gonna watch Raw, watch it on Hulu. They pare that shit down.
Yeah. They
Speaking
really
of
do.
Raw, this is exactly the type of match that you'd have on Raw for two reasons. Number one, it was tenuously built up. There was like a little bit of foreshadowing for it, but it's essentially like a bullshit 6-man tag that really can just fuck off like for 10 minutes on Raw. Number two, the Wyatts getting pinned once again on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And they suck. As our colleague Noli said, the Wyatts, man, fucking suck.
Hey, the new faces of fear, the new gods of the WWE, losing to two guys who are probably on their way out, and Ryback.
We've been saying that for years. Let's face it, Kane and the Big Show aren't going anywhere.
Yeah, no. Oh, by the way, the best part was Strowman going over and grabbing Brian Saxon's chair for Wyatt to sit in.
What?
Okay.
Speaking also of Strowman, again, this sledgehammer. He doesn't move quick enough to be like lauded for being athletic despite his size, which is often like a frequent gimmick. Nor does he look like an imposing big man. His offense just looks like normal transitional strikes, knees, like elbows. There's nothing particularly brutal about the way he hits them and the way that his opponents take them.
And yet
So
everybody
what the
goes,
fuck is the point?
It's like, oh, Braun Strowman, he's really changed the Wyatt family's chemistry. No, he hasn't. It's just another bearded moron in this bearded moron stable.
Well, bearded morons and Luke Harper.
Yeah.
He's
No, Luke Harper's got a beard.
he ascends to a higher plane.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He's got talent. I mean, so does Wyatt. So does Bray. Eric Rowan is also not too obnoxious.
It's just that
in his
the
limitations.
Wyatt family, as it's being booked, they're supposed to be this scary Southern cult, and yet they lose every time.
Yeah.
There has not been a point where they've gone over. Not even when Dean Ambrose killed himself. They've never actually beaten anybody on their own. And you would think, the new face of fear, this should happen. But it doesn't.
No, if WWE is afraid of anything, they're afraid of new ideas.
Yeah.
You've got to look at Triple H. I don't think he cut his hair. I think he tore it out when he saw how bad Vince is fucking up NXT. Because he's got to go, this was my scariest guy, and look what you've done. Ah! Hold me. Stephanie, hold me in your arms. Your manly, manly arms. Okay, back from that.
Titans win. Move on.
We go backstage with Chris Jericho. Oh, sorry, Roman Reigns and JoJo, and she's like, "So, Roman, is your relationship?"
It's generic promo number 583.
No, this was more like
when associated with a Last Man Standing match.
I don't know. I think this might have been generic promo 308.
Yeah, once again, give Romo these scripted promos so you could shoot him looking off into the distance at the camera and speaking in low tones to make it seem like he's sounding low and smooth, but he's really just awkward and nervous.
Thank God Dean Ambrose showed up to freaking give Priceline a shot in the arm.
Well, it's better than Roman Reigns quoting Naruto. I'm gonna guess that's why the crowd had. I'm gonna guess that's why the crowd had such a negative reaction.
Dean Ambrose goes in the pantheon of advertising heads, the same one as William Shatner for that particular product.
Yeah. And they talk about Brock Lesnar, but we'll get to that in a bit. Because next up is a great video package for the WWE Divas title. Why is Brie Bella challenging for it?
Again, the WWE is afraid of... another thing WWE is afraid of, not having a Bella at the top of the Divas division. Doesn't matter which one. I'm pretty sure they can't tell them apart.
Well, Nikki's got bigger boobs and, a shattered neck. But Brie comes out wearing Daniel Bryan's kick pads from WrestleMania 30.
The fur trim, yet.
Okay. I get it. You're trying to get sympathy. And this probably would have worked if you went over. But unfortunately...
Or if you were the face.
Unfortunately...
Which I don't think she is.
Neither one of these ladies are the face, because hasn't Brie Bella been associated with Team Bella, which was heel? Yeah. Another.
You see, I'm convinced nobody's actually booking the Divas division at this point. They're just ad-libbing, and they say, okay, we've got match time. Divas match. Girls, go figure it out. Who has the belt? Charlotte. Okay, just pick someone. Preferably a Bella, please.
There have been rumors that the Bellas have been sort of, they may call it quits again.
Yeah. The rumors
Which can
are
only be good.
Brie wants to go start a family with Daniel, son. And Nikki is getting a little bit tired of being out on the road.
Well, good for both of them.
Yeah. This was actually a fine match. It really was.
It was okay. Yeah.
It was okay as it is, but it was actually Charlotte actually got busted open the hard way. The ref did put on the rubber gloves, and it was along the bridge of her nose, which I guess is a Flair family trademark now. They always get busted along the bridge of the nose, so it's like,
at the very least, it was like a 0.01 on the Muda scale. Overall.
Yeah, it really was. It wasn't that much blood. It was just like,
it wasn't horrifying.
Yeah, it was just, ooh, well, she got a cut. Put on the rubber gloves. Yes, sir. Not taking any chances here. Finish comes when Brie comes off the let me talk about Brie Bella for a second. Brie Bella has the slowest start to every single one of her moves, but the fastest finish. I mean,
elaborate on that one, sir.
So she goes up top for a missile dropkick. I swear to God, she hangs there for a good second before actually impacting. She goes for a clothesline. It starts off, the windup is so slow, but then all of a sudden it's done. It's like, oh, wait a second here. What? Did I blink and miss a frame or something?
So you're saying that as a biological entity, she is essentially like a streaming video buffering.
No, she's a Zack Snyder movie.
Pretty much. I mean, she'll just go so slow and then finish up, and you're like going, did they cut a frame or two out of something?
Yeah.
And it's not. It's just how she works. You know? And I kind of like that. I kind of like that because it adds, I don't know. I don't know why I like it. I just do. Go ahead.
She did hit a decent elbow, and the crowd did go pretty good for those Daniel Bryan kicks.
Yeah, the that nice bull hammer that Nikki occasionally uses. I don't care what you call it. It's not a forearm strike. That's a bull hammer. Call it. Call it, Maggle. Call it, Maggle. Sorry. Finish comes with a yes lock into a single leg crab right in Flair's face. And this time, Rick doesn't throw his jacket. He just freaks the fuck out. And I didn't know this, but apparently the legs are involved in crab holds. So, because Brie injured her leg earlier, Charlotte is able to kick out of it when she goes to adjust, and then puts on the figure eight for the win. Wow. FastLane.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Did you think the show was kind of good so far? Because it's about to come to a grinding halt.
No. We're 2 segments away from it. This is actually the highlight of the show. AJ, we go backstage where Chris Jericho is walking.
Oh, right. I thought this came afterwards.
No, sir. We have to have our meat and potatoes before we get to our vegetables. And she asks him about AJ, and Jericho's like, if he doesn't win here, he's done. So, because, he's not really that phenomenal.
Well, get mad at it as you want. Jericho was doing all the fuck he can to promote this match.
He really was. And this
before the match.
Oh, this
throughout
is
the
a
feud
this is
during
a
the match.
and this is an old school type feud too. This has been back and forth between the two of them, and I love it because it's
Yeah,
like,
it's basically AJ coming in saying, "I'm that damn good." Jericho saying, "Who are you? I'm a veteran," and AJ finding a way to prove it.
yeah. Jericho did flub, by the way. There was a flub in the promo. I don't remember what the line was, but he did flub a little bit. But he ends it with saying, "Well, let's go find out if AJ Styles is really phenomenal." And then the two of them put on a clinic.
Yep. And as much of a clinic as it was, the biggest detriment of this match was the crowd.
Yeah.
They rarely came alive. There was a dueling chant here and there.
Yeah.
But there was no like crescendo. There was no like ebb and flow. There was no build up and release. It was sad.
Yeah, it really was. Uh, AJ needs to learn how to work in the WWE ring a little bit more. Because he tried for the Styling DDT, which is his springboard inverted DDT, and well, he caught Jericho's body, and to his credit, he went with it.
Jericho could have stood closer, but
Yeah.
again, yeah, I've seen it done much better. Generally, though, I will admit I never liked that spot because I can remember an instance or two where it's done to specification, where it's literally one motion backflip DDT, and
Yeah.
that was in Japan. Like I rarely ever saw him do it that well in TNA.
Yeah. So again, clinic match. This is Chris Jericho pulling out everything in his arsenal, from the lion salt to the lion tamer.
Yeah, and again, selling the hell out of it. Being as antagonistic as he could.
Yeah.
You stupid son of a bitch! You're a stupid man!
Yeah. It was classic Jericho heel. Oh, Backlash. You're giggling.
Yes, I know, because it just reminds me of the glory days of WCW.
Yeah, and me too. When Jericho would be screaming that, he's the best in the world, and those were the days. Finish comes when AJ hits the Styles Clash, and it's kicked out of, which
Iffy.
little iffy. But then he just rolls right into the calf crusher, and it's like, Jericho, please start grimacing.
Oh yeah. Grimace, he fucking does. He is in immeasurable pain.
Oh yeah, and he taps. Winner, the phenomenal AJ Styles. And after the match, Chris Jericho is about to go. It looks like he's gonna, restart the match with Styles, and it was great. And it's like, yeah, you know what? You did good. Let me shake your hand. And I'm like going, don't do it, AJ. This is what Shawn Michaels did at WrestleMania 19, and he got his balls kicked back up into his throat for his trouble.
But it didn't go that route.
No, it didn't. More's the pity. Hey, FastLane. It's been pretty fast. We've been driving along pretty good.
Iron Bite, are you a thing? Iron Bite's a thing.
That was me.
Oh.
Yeah, that was Backlash. I'm sitting here contemplating grabbing that bottle of whiskey and just chugging. The Cutting Edge Peep Show.
Yeah, this had to be a thing.
Which is an advertisement for Edge and Christian's show that totally reeks of awesomeness on the WWE Network. This is all this segment is.
No, it's so much more than that.
But they bring in the New Day for this. And I don't know what happens, but my brain just suddenly goes,
You're used to the New Day elevating things. Why was this so bad?
Because maybe it's because you're watching Edge and Christian try to reclaim their former glory days of basically being the New Day,
Oh
because they
man,
really were. They were the New Day before the New Day was a thing.
yeah. But then again, if you think that they're trying to reclaim their former glory and this segment was bad, you should have fucking seen the show proper. Oh my god.
I saw the opening skit and then I turned it off. I was like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna. I refuse to watch Viva La Bam via Edge and Christian, just like I refuse to watch Jackass via Swerved. The
Hell of
New
a way of
Day,
analogizing it. I like that.
yeah, that's basically what this is. So it's like Christian and Edge open up with saying, hey. Let's do. Hey, Edge, can you still fart out pyro? Oh, hey, you can. Nice. Hey, look, there's Tony Chimmel. Oh, it's Tony Chimmel. Why is Tony Chimmel here, guys?
Because his
Where did
voice
they?
cracks.
Where did they find Tony Chimmel?
They specifically got him because he could never properly say rated R superstar.
He's in the prop department with the SmackDown Hand and Todd Pettengill. That's where they found him.
Oh, and so they open up with a nice little promo about hey, look, when we were here in Cleveland, we did the first ever triangle ladder match. That was fun, but then out comes the New Day and the segment, which already wasn't going good because I don't think anybody remembers Edge and Christian, and the segment keeps going down and down and down, and the network doesn't help at all because apparently it's having issues. Of course, it was having issues for me all night because I kept randomly going back 10 seconds.
Yeah, that would happen frequently. Stuttering, skipping, that kind of thing. It wasn't awful, but it was a nuisance.
It kind of was. And the New Day runs down the list of tag teams that could potentially challenge them. They mention the Usos. They mention the Ascension. Then they mention the League of Nations. Which brings Edge to go, hey, I saw Sheamus and he wants to kick your ass, and they're like, oh yeah, they couldn't do anything. I mean, we're just gonna try, and out comes the League of Nations.
I was making all these noises during this segment.
I assumed you were. I would be making them in the next segment, but we'll get to that.
Oh, it just gets worse.
The New Day is they get in, and Edge and Christian are trying to egg the seven of them on, but the New Day is like, yeah, but this is our day of rest, so we're gonna turn the other cheek. This is foreshadowing for a joke that's gonna end the segment, by the way. And so the League turns to two men who they can't touch. One for fear of destroying what's left of his neck, the other for the concussion problems. And they threaten them, but we all know nothing's going to happen. And then Del Rio's like, oh, Patron, I made you retire. And Edge is like, yeah, and what have you done and I've done more in the last 5 years in the ring than you ever have. Ooh! That
Edge, was I love you, but you should have not agreed to that fucking line, because you of all people know that you should have fucking done the job at that WrestleMania.
Yeah, you really should have.
But let's not get into that.
Yeah. So as Edge and Christian decide to leave, and they're like, yeah, we were going to do a 5-second pose, but that's on the International House of Dumbasses. And the New Day comes back and says, oh yeah, you remember when we said we were going to turn the other cheek? this is the cheek we meant, and they start booty dancing. Well, Edge and Christian plug their show.
Well, let's unpack this for a second. The segment is a travesty from the standpoint that this kind of thing should be going on Raw. But even then, even with just like a sort of fuck off, like useless match on Raw, if you have a segment like this, like a talking segment, then it would assumedly lead somewhere to a pay-per-view. That's why it's on Raw. Problem is, they put a Raw segment on a pay-per-view and it didn't fucking lead anywhere.
Yeah. Speaking of not leading anywhere, R-Truth versus Curtis Axel.
Oh, you're getting ahead of yourself.
I am?
Yeah, have the social outcasts been a thing?
Yes. Yes, they have.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
It's a
that's
thing
nice.
I like to...
That's nice. I don't care. But, yeah, they're out there talking about Priuses.
And they
Well-
are Priuses. And Bo Dallas would like you to know every safety feature on a Prius.
Well, I guess it's nice that Heath Slater is still employed, but, yeah, R-Truth comes out and he thinks it's a handicap match because I guess we're still doing this Eric Young brain damage angle.
And why is this on this card? Why is this on this pay-per-view? Why is this not on the pre-show?
Why is this not on Superstars?
Well, social outcasts are amusing.
No,
I
they
feel like-
are not.
I feel as if in the future they'll be the Wyatts' next opponents, and the Wyatts will still lose.
Oh God, you're completely
You
right.
guys are social outcasts. We're kind of like you. We're more outcasts than you. Because we're evil.
Follow the
1, 2, 3.
buzzards. So it's like, so they're like, hey, you know what? Wait a second here. No, this isn't going to be a handicap match. It's you versus Curtis Axel. So let's have your little match. Oh, we're just gonna keep interfering because why not? And this brings out Goldust, who is still trying to get Truth to be his new tag team partner.
He's just mistaking him for Booker T.
He really is, and he wants to name this team the Golden Truth. Here's
Cute.
the Golden Truth: get back with Cody.
Oh, this match lasted all of about a minute, and it was a minute too long. I don't care.
I don't care either.
I don't care. I can't express how much I don't care.
And so we won't care. Let's move on. Triple threat match for the #1 contendership: Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns versus Dean Ambrose.
And I also didn't care because I knew how this match was going to go. Brock Lesnar was going to act like a spoiled little baby, and Roman was going to win somehow.
And boy, howdy, did that meet our expectations. All right.
I'm not beyond like just the work of the agents, or like I don't know who to attribute this to, but this match was a fucking psychological nightmare.
You have, all right, let's break this down a little bit. You have two guys who work very, very well together, who know how to keep the pace going, who knows when to slow it down a little bit. One guy is a veteran of the ring for I don't even know how many years. The other, while kind of green, is actually pretty good. And then you have the spoiled brat that is Brock Lesnar, who just takes whatever speed or momentum this match could have and brings it to a gear grinding halt.
Brock Lesnar is not here to put on a match. In fact, I'm pretty sure Brock Lesnar was just thrown into this match at the last minute because he walked up to Vince, flexed those mighty pectoral muscles, and says, "We gotta put this guy in the main event." And Brock Lesnar is just in there saying, "Vince busts a nut over my physique, so you fuckers better make me look good. I don't care that I'm gonna win, that I'm not gonna win."
Fuck that shit.
Skewed priorities from those in the back. Let's go over some of the completely awful moves that whomever set this match up made.
Okay.
Roman Reigns takes an F5 within like 5 or so minutes in the match.
He
And
kicks
like
out.
he's essentially pin 1, 2, 3 if Ambrose weren't there.
Yeah.
Number one.
Ambrose eats an F5. And again, gets saved by Reigns.
Number two, it's a triple threat match.
Yes.
During this, like, you expect two people who have had some prior relationship, who may be enemies or who are two heels against a face, to band together and like take down a common enemy. Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose, sure enough, they do this.
They do this twice.
They
with the
do
same
this
spot.
Yeah, they band together to take down Brock Lesnar about 10 minutes into the match.
Not immediately. 10 minutes into this.
It takes them 10 minutes after getting German suplex 5 times each to realize, holy shit, our opponent's Brock Lesnar.
Oh, let's talk about Brock Lesnar's Suplex City. Good Lord, he's going to murder Dean Ambrose one of these days. He just is. He does not care. He has become the Kevin Nash of suplexers.
You're only now just figuring out he doesn't care? You didn't figure that out when he threw a car door into the audience? I will not stop bringing that up.
Please no, because I love the rage. And then so they take him out with the old Shield power bomb minus Seth Rollins. And then the two of them go to work on one another, and good Lord, the match picks up. The crowd is into it as much as they're able to because it's fucking Cleveland and fuck them. And then Brock Lesnar comes back in, and the match grinds to a gear-grinding halt again.
Towards the end of the match is the third big problem I had. When
The third. Oh yeah. Let's talk about that third, the last third of the match.
Well, I'll just get to the finish, honestly. Dean Ambrose picks up a chair defiantly, smacks Brock Lesnar with it multiple times, who stays the fuck down. Smacks Roman Reigns 5 times with it.
No, Brock Lesnar was reacting like he got hit with a mosquito bite and wanted to take a nap. That's what I was seeing.
All right.
Honest to God, that's exactly.
Like, ow! Knock that off! Ow! I'm going over here and lying down. Ow!
Can you guys tuck me in underneath the remains of the?
He was not okay. He was not selling. He just knew like this was the point where I'm not supposed to be in the match, so I'm just gonna go over here.
Oh yeah,
guys,
speaking of which,
that still counts as selling.
No,
because he's out of commission. He's at least acting as if he's out of commission. We have Dean Ambrose smack Roman Reigns in the back 5 times with the chair.
I'll give you credit.
And after 10 seconds, he gets up and spears him and wins.
Sure made him. Oh, by the way, before this, Roman Reigns was in the Chimera Lock, and this is a move that has broken arms before. Not only can Brock Lesnar not break Roman Reigns' arm, Roman Reigns can get up.
That admittedly was a good visual. That's what Roman Reigns should be. But
yes,
the problem is like everything that's like 5% of what Roman Reigns is presented as.
No, the rest of the other 95% of him is he's the Samoan Daniel Bryan.
Ooh. But again, never minding how absurd that like the no selling was at the end. But then again, maybe it does make logical sense. After all, flak jacket, body armor.
Yeah, that is true. That he was hitting the flak jacket. Now afterwards,
very strong.
They hit pyros off to mask any booing that's going on, but there was no reaction whatsoever. It was like the crowd had just gone silent.
No boos.
No boos.
It wasn't
no
like
cheers,
they just
no
did
nothing.
go silent.
Triple H comes out. No boos, no cheers, no nothing.
Nobody gave a fuck.
Nobody
because we knew what was going to happen.
Yeah. Now
every time like I see a silent crowd for something that's supposed to be important, the same visual comes to mind. Alberto Del Rio, like he does this thing where he sort of swings his arm a little to like incite the crowd, and that's like that image came to mind, like him struggling to just make him come alive.
You want to know what image actually comes to mind whenever I see a silent crowd? Jeb Bush delivering a what's supposed to be a funny line or something, and he then nothing happens. Then he goes, "Please clap."
Oh, I'm so sad that's over.
Yeah, let's flash forward to Raw for a second because I did open with the line, "The Roman Reigns experiment is at an end," and I'm going to tell you why. We flash forward to the end of Raw where Roman Reigns is having a match with the League of Nations. Let's be honest, he's getting a beatdown. Triple H then comes out and proceeds to beat the holy hell out of Roman Reigns. The crowd cheers this. Your supposed top babyface and your supposed top heel. What the fuck, Vince?
Mm-hmm.
What
See,
the fuck?
Here I was thinking that you were going to say that the Roman Reigns experiment died when Shane McMahon enters the ring and gets a fucking huge pop. The holy shit chant is in a match versus The Undertaker. Ooh.
No.
Attitude
That's
Era, friends.
yeah. That's
This is what
something
you want.
that's going to be something completely different. No, the Roman Reigns experiment ends when the crowd is cheering the beatdown of the face. Because the crowd refuses to let go of the 2014 Royal Rumble. And I'm telling you, this is what that decision, the decision to unceremoniously dump Daniel Bryan over the top rope, has pretty much fucked Roman Reigns' career for the past 2 years. Tell me I'm wrong.
Hey, now they also
Yeah.
unceremoniously dumped Dean Ambrose.
They unceremoniously dumped a lot of people on that Rumble.
But the fact of the matter is they had the perfect WrestleMania storyline. Daniel Bryan coming back from what could have been a career-ending injury. It was, but could have been on the fast lane to the road to WrestleMania by coming back and going, "Hey, authority, fuck you, I'm still here." Yes.
You know, I've always tried to defend that by saying that the previous WrestleMania, they had already given him the perfect story for rising to the occasion, and they probably didn't want to repeat themselves, but yeah, that did have some unfortunate implications. And this year, they don't have Seth Rollins waiting in the wings with a Money in the Bank briefcase.
No.
They don't have an out. They have to pull the trigger this time. The only other option they have is to let Triple H keep the belt, which he doesn't want. I don't think that's what Vince wants. It's not what the crowd wants, but the crowd does not want Roman.
No, because Roman, what is going on here? I've actually noticed this. Roman gets over when he's actually being a badass. Where they fail is when Roman is acting like he's Daniel Bryan and has to overcome the odds.
Yeah, because that just reminds people, it's like, we want Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, we can't have Daniel Bryan, so fuck you. We're rejecting this.
Yeah, and thinking about it, once Sami Zayn is on the main roster, then Roman Reigns certainly won't be able to get over like that.
Fuck that. You could have Sami. You'll have Sami Zayn, AJ Styles, possibly Finn Balor and the rest of the Bullet Club. Samoa Joe is waiting somewhere. Good Lord, Roman Reigns is just going to go. And the fact of the matter is, I think he should.
Yeah,
I think Roman Reigns needs to just get the hell out of the main event scene for a while and go do something else.
They don't need to demote him. They could use him. They could use him as an example for just like building up a better mid card. They could maybe try to, like, you didn't get over, and I'm not gonna say punish him, but they could give him like a sort of contrary gimmick or try to strip away what they forced us to think. Oh, this Shield stuff is still cool. Just like give him some noticeable variation and let him actually work, not just give him shit.
And the thing is,
Wish I could be more elaborate.
The thing is, Vince is never going to convince him. Nobody can convince Vince that he's failed with Roman Reigns. He still thinks this is 1990 or some. He still thinks it's like 95, and
in
he
Vince
knows.
McMahon's head, he has never failed at anything.
Yeah.
The reason there was never another season of the XFL is because he got bored with it.
Yeah, pretty much. No,
that the world wasn't ready for such a revolutionary idea.
That's true. I recall him saying like either way, like that he did say that bullshit, but he also did say that was a blunder or it was a failure.
Vince has never failed at anything in his life in his own little twisted reality. Roman Reigns will work. Roman Reigns will be shoved down our throats until he works. And if he doesn't work, fuck it, he writes the history books.
Pretty much at this point. And I honest to God think when Vince McMahon has that rage-induced stroke that he's going to, that disables him enough that Triple H can finally, take over the show, the wrestling aspect of things. Honestly, Vince McMahon is not that bad a businessman, but as a promoter,
he's lost touch.
Yeah, he has. The world has moved on, and like Jim Cornette, he doesn't get that.
Yeah, if it's been said once, it's been said a trillion times.
So, honest to God, I don't know what is it going to take to show that Vince, you lost touch.
Unless the WWE starts losing massive amounts of money, which it is, but not to the point where Vince cares.
Yeah.
They just need to get a time machine. They need to get Shawn Michaels from 95 and have him go into his office and say, "Vince, I don't know how I got here, but I'm 30 and you're 70. And I think I know more about what people like these days than you do." That's an old legend.
Yeah.
Maybe it did happen.
All right, so let's finish this out with what's all HBK's fault? Then we'll go into the plugs.
The fact that Curtis Axel has a match on a pay-per-view is all HBK's fault.
The fact that the Roman Reigns experiment is at an end is all HBK's fault.
The fact that you can get $70 pay-per-views on the WWE network for $10, but now they're making the pay-per-views seem like they're $10 with these Raw segments is all HBK's fault.
Yeah.
I can only subscribe to so many things a month. WWE better step it up if they want to keep being one of them.
There's an NXT takeover coming soon.
Oh, I used to love those. Now I just look to the future and weep.
I'm sorry. I got the plugs.
Good.
Be sure to chat with us at piledriverwrestling.net, where we are part of the OSW Podcast Network. Listen to the great content like OSW Review, the Attitude Era Podcast, the New Generation Podcast, and the New Blood Rising Podcast, and join the community to discuss all things wrestling and MMA. You can follow us on Twitter at DarkMatch Pod, like us on Facebook at DarkMatch Podcast, and subscribe on YouTube at DarkMatch Podcasts. And you can subscribe to the audio version of our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, and on Podbean. And be sure you leave a comment and a review of our review. That's awkward.
Blame No Leaf. He wrote it.
Yeah, I might have to kidnap him at some point. So that's the dark match for Fastlane. We're on the road to WrestleMania, so hopefully it won't suck.
On the road to Viridian City.
But I'm already thinking that I don't have enough gym badges for this. Yeah. So I'm Ironbite.
I'm Christopher Says, and I have to say, ah!
And I am your foxy friend Backlash, and oh god, it's spreading. Good night and good luck. There's the fucking whiskey.